Hey S.H.E family, this is Trish and welcome to Pieces of S.H.E. This is my very first video episode, so I'm really excited. I have some wonderful guests here. I have a mother-daughter duo that I'm really excited to talk to. We have Africa and we have S.H.E. And of course you guys know I introduce by my famous five. So Africa is from Las Vegas. She's from Gen X. Single parent household she was raised in. She has 3 sisters and she's the second oldest. And she's a Gemini. Gotta love them Geminis. And S.H.E. S.H.E. is also from Las Vegas. She's in the millennial. And she was raised in a 2-parent household as an only child. However, she does have 3 sisters. And within that lineup, she is the second oldest. And she's an Aries. So welcome you guys. Is there anything else that I missed that you want people to know about you?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
All right. All right. So happy Black History Month. I see you guys came representing and I'm so excited. I love your shirts because I like shirts that say stuff. So I'm so loving the powerful, black, strong, confident, beautiful Afro shirt. And then, of course, the educated Black queen.
Yes.
So, thank you guys for coming. I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
Yes. So, first question. What is the age difference between the two of you? How old were you when S.H.E was born?
I was 2 months shy of turning 19.
Okay.
So I was actually 18 years old when I delivered her.
Okay, okay. So you guys are 18 years apart. And then how's your relationship? How do you guys have like a standard mother-daughter? Do you have like a, are you guys close? Do you have like more of a friendship? Or was it like more mother-daughter at first? Now it's more what's the dynamic of your relationship?
I think it was always a mixture. Like, she was firm with me. I got disciplined, but she was always open. Like, I can always come to her for advice, tell her everything, and then she actually kind of played a lot too. But when things was serious, it was serious. She was kind of lenient too. Like, I don't know. It was like a mixture.
Okay.
So, yeah. That's kind of how I grew up.
Did you plan that? Did you say, okay, this is the type of parent I'm going to be?
I don't believe I planned it. I knew that there was not a book to parenting, but I also self-reflected on my rearing. And there were some things when I grew up that I agreed with, and there were some things when I grew up that I did not agree with. So I just wanted to make sure that that I made the changes in what I believe to be a positive way.
Gotcha.
In regards to the way that I raised my child.
I have a question, Mom. Do you feel like you grew up with me? Like we grew up together?
No. I don't feel like I grew up with you.
Because, like, in my earlier years, like when I was younger, like when I look back at certain things, I can tell that, like, I had a young mother. But I don't think the outcome of how I turned out, like when I became an adult, that you can tell that my mom was young when she had me. Like the way that I was raised. Yeah. And then the adult that I became. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, what are some things that you guys do together? Like, do you guys hang out?
Everything.
What do you do?
We do a lot. Probably our favorite pastime together is traveling. We travel a lot together.
Watch TV. We go hiking. Occasionally go out to eat. Meals, feed during travel. I wouldn't say there's not anything specific.
The only thing we don't do is club.
Yeah.
Like I don't club with her, but we have the same interest.
Okay.
So
you will want to club with me though, because you asked me. Actually, we did club together before on the cruise. And then
how was
back
that
then,
experience?
oh my gosh. So we met these guys and they thought we were like friends or sisters. And then I'm like, that's my mom. And then they were like, what? And they were like drinking. And then the next day, like they saw us and they were like laughing and they spoke and we were talking. But then like one of the guys like ran. He was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, like, how old are you? Like, can I ask? I'm like, my mom is 40. That's my mom. She's 45. And they were like, are you serious? Like, you look so young. But we did club that time together. But I think if I wanted to club with her, she would. But I don't want to club with her.
Reason being?
I just feel like there's a line. I feel like there's a line.
There is a line. Yeah. Okay.
For me.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you this, S.H.E. So how would the young S.H.E, you know, the child S.H.E versus the teenage S.H.E versus the current S.H.E describe this lady sitting right here? As a mom, like, what was your mindset as a child?
I think it's the same. Like,
really?
My views on her having changed, except when I was younger, maybe because she didn't do it around me, but like drinking and stuff, like I kind of get uncomfortable because I like I held my mom like on this pedestal or like of high standards. Like I always thought great of her. Like if there was ever anyone that I looked up to, it would be my mother. And I really don't look up to people. Like I do get inspired by others, but I would say she's like the only person that I ever looked up to. So but like as far as a mother, to answer your question, I think she was a great mother, and she still is. Like she never gave up on me. She's there every step of the way, even at times when I can be disrespectful. Like she still forgives me, loves me, and she always, like, I don't know, she's always been a mother. I don't want to say father, but like my mom catered to me. She gave me the love that I needed. So everything else, I didn't feel like I was missing anything. Even though my dad passed away at a young age, I don't feel that like love was really lost. Like, I mean, it was because he wasn't physically there. He passed away when I was 7, but I feel like my mom did a great job making up for this, something that she was out of her control.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So you never went through that teenage stage where you're like, oh, I hate her. None of that.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say hate. I wouldn't say hate.
I've actually uttered those words.
But I did, when I would say not 9th grade. 9th grade, I was good. 10th grade, junior year, it was when I was like, oh, I can't say, like, give me my space. Like, I'm not gonna, like, run away. I'm safe, Mom. I just, like, the curfew thing, I didn't like the curfew thing. Like, I cried about that. I would try to spend the night at my granny's house, and then my mom would come over there and try to sit on my granny couch and watch TV until, like, 12 o'clock to make sure that I was in there. And I'm like, go home. Like, I don't want to be around you on the weekends. Like, I came over my granny house to spend time with her. Like, I'm going to be back. Or she'll call my granny and be like, my granny wouldn't really even care. But the fact that my mom was who she was, like, my granny was way more lenient.
Yeah.
Thank God for tracking devices, like, though, too.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that. But, like, my granny, like, if it wasn't for my mom, I would have been able to do basically what I wanted to do. But my mom made it a point to, like, call my granny and be like, don't let her be out. She needs to be at home at 12. And it, like, annoyed me. And I'm like, the fact that parties ended at 2 o'clock and we were in high school, like, I didn't smoke or drink. So I was like, Mom, I don't smoke or I don't drink. Like, you have me, like, if something happened, like, I will call you. Like, I can check in, but, like, why do I have to have a curfew? Like, we're really just having fun. Or we'll be hanging out at someone's house, and I didn't like that part. And the fact that she wanted to check Infinite Campus every Friday before I can even go out, and if I had lower than a B, sometimes even C's, like, I couldn't go out. And I was like, Mom, it's not my report card. Like, maybe this grade isn't in, or, you know, like, I'm struggling. Then she's like, there's no reason for you to struggle. You can stay after school. And I'm like, I do sports, or I didn't want to stay after school, or whatever the issue was. I think the thing that I didn't like most is I felt like she kind of was overprotective during high school. Yeah. Middle school, I was still able to do things with my friends, but I wasn't into partying. Like, we'll go to the movies and skating. Elementary school, which is crazy. I was doing that too, meeting my friends at the skating ring. But once I got in high school, I wanted more freedom. And she was kind of overbearing.
So, Mom, tell me,
Mhm.
as your only child, do you feel like you were too overprotective, or do you feel justified in how you raised her?
Both.
Mhm.
So, of course, because there's no book to parenting, I think some things that I was probably overprotective about, and I probably should have allowed her to explore a little more.
Mhm.
But there was so much going on at that time too, because it was so different from my high school years with technology, and now the cell phones, and now the MySpace back then. And
Right.
so I think that I was highly involved. Now, in regards to her education, I don't believe I was too overbearing, because education is important to me,
Yeah.
and I wanted her to understand that at a young age. So to have the freedom to do all the extracurricular activities, that's a privilege.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to instill in her that, you know, at the end of the week, let's see your progress before we have fun. Work
Right.
hard, play hard. But I was pretty strict, but for the safety of it, because she later thanked me, and she thanks me now, because some of the friends that she had during that time have gone down a different path. And I think during those years when they were in high school, they had a little bit more leniency. So I think that she understands now, because she's matured, that I did it to protect her,
Yeah.
and because I loved her. But I think there are some things that I could have not been so strict on, so that
Yeah.
she could learn on her own.
Yeah.
Like what?
But I wish that I would have made her, she is spoiled, I wish that I would have made her financially, more financially independent as a teenager.
Gotcha.
That part I wish I would have done.
So you're saying she's still on your payroll?
She's independent, but I cut her some slack because she ran track. She was a debutante. She was in the Delta gym. She had a full plate. So I didn't so much as, she had to work, but I just, she still has expectations of me in the financial area that I think that she should not.
That's interesting.
First, what part?
The cell phone.
No, the lenient part. What part? Where do you feel like you should have been more lenient, like on me in high school? And then I have a question for her
About the finances?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go on that one first.
Okay, so I don't feel that I should have been more lenient with you hanging out or anything like that. That part I think I had to keep tight. I think that there are some decisions that I should have allowed you to make on your own, instead of being as controlling and you doing things because I'm telling you to. I think I should have allowed you to figure some things out on your own.
Like being involved in like certain youth groups and things like that.
No, not that part. I think those were positive influences.
What are some things you wish you would have, other than the curfew? What are some other things that you wish you would have not been so lenient on?
Forcing me to be involved in organizations I didn't want to be in, because now as an adult, I don't even want to be around those people or be associated in those type of environments, because I feel like it was forced on me and it wasn't something that I really wanted to do.
Gotcha.
Like I didn't really enjoy.
Okay.
And we actually had this conversation.
Yeah,
recently.
we did.
Yeah.
And I get it. But I think from a parental perspective, when even so much as a child playing Pop Warner, like that kid may not like football. Like even if you have a little boy, they may not like football. But it's what you learn from interacting with others, learning to be a team player. It's the skills that the parent thinks that you're going to gain while you're in that experience. But I respect that you didn't enjoy it. But I think from a parental perspective, I thought that you would learn something from it.
Yeah, it was so distasteful. That's why I never wanted to play.
Distasteful?
Like I never wanted to play. Sorry to the people that's watching.
I'm sorry you feel that way. But hey, you know what? Like your mom said, there is no manual on parenting. She did the best she knew how, and I'm sure you learned some things from those organizations that you needed to learn. Sometimes we don't understand our journey. Things are put in place, and we'll get it later. So, so let me ask you this, S.H.E, what do you like most about your mom?
What do I like most? She's my mom. Like, I love her. Like,
I know you love her.
Maybe because I can't. Well, now I could say I feel like I used to be able to talk to her more.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the fact that she's kind of open, like, and she allows me to express myself,
Gotcha.
and doesn't fault me for that. Like, she doesn't judge me by the way that I express my feelings and who I am. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I like that most.
I love that. Love that. And what do you like most about S.H.E?
That she's bold, she's and she knows what she wants.
Yeah.
I think that's a good quality. Even as an adult, like, she will stand up for what she wants and what she believes in.
Gotcha.
And she's, I think, just her creative mind and her determination. So whatever she wants, she pretty much does, and she'll go get it.
Yeah.
And I like that quality in her.
Good.
Oh, I forgot. She's very driven, and she will get it by any means, like, necessary by herself, and that inspires me too. Like, my mom always handles her business, and yeah, I do like that about her.
Okay. All right. Love that. Okay, so then what annoys you most about your mom?
Sometimes when she feels that she can make decisions for me. Like,
Such as?
she sometimes, dang, that's going deeper.
Okay,
Like,
I'm not, hey, we don't have to go down any streets you don't want to go down.
Like, just thinking, like, I know she wants what's best for me, but sometimes I want to, like, even if I know that it's not all the way, because I kind of like going against the grain sometimes, and I want to not necessarily make the mistakes, but I don't care about the outcome. I just want to do it, and sometimes she thinks that she can control that, but I'm an adult, and I can make those decisions on my own.
Gotcha. And so what annoys you most about this strong-willed child that you raised?
She's definitely strong-willed. What's the question? What
annoys you most?
What annoys me? The only thing that annoys me is if she interrupts me when I'm trying to explain something. Like, if it's, like, she'll come to me with a topic and she'll ask my opinion, or she'll come to me and want to have a conversation, and I'll listen to her, and then when I'm ready, it's almost like she's gauging my body language or my face, and as soon as I start talking, she won't even know what I'm going to say, but she'll kind of interfere because she tries to steer that conversation the way she wants it to go. So I think just sometimes when she just won't kind of hear me out.
Yeah.
Because I want her to make her own decisions. I just want her to hear me out and then make the decision.
So let me ask you this. So has there ever been a time where your mom said, no, I think you should do this? However, you chose not to do what she asked you to do, go the opposite way, do your thing, and it didn't work out?
Yes.
And so I have two questions, one for you, one for you. One, did you say I told you so? Or how did you handle that? And then two, the other question is, how did you handle it? Did you tell her you were right and I should have listened, or how did you handle that situation?
Well, I have two things that came to my mind when you first said it. First was with the relationship. She told me things in the beginning, and I was like, Mom, like, no. But now I look back, she was correct about what she was saying. I didn't want to believe it. And then secondly, about my savings, she would tell me, like, you shouldn't do this. Like, like when I was like trying to buy a house, she told me certain things that I should and shouldn't do with my bank account, and I did it, and it did put me behind when I thought that it'll be all right.
Right.
But they watched me. So yeah, in both situations, I felt like I could have done it differently and had a better outcome.
Did you let her know that?
No.
Okay.
I didn't. But now you know.
Do tell, do
Thanks.
tell.
Thanks. You picked the perfect time. Thanks.
So how do you feel? Do you feel like you need to say "I told you so," or do you just
I don't
let her
like that
fall
term,
gracefully?
honestly. No, hold on. I will give you a look that means I told you so, or usually, but I don't use the word specifically, I told you so.
Yeah.
But I think that even since she was a child, even though she's stronger, she doesn't want to disappoint. So if I let her know, or she says it, I can kind of give her that look, or I'll kind of sigh, and she knows what that means.
What it means.
But I don't specifically say, I told you so. And I consciously don't do that because I don't think anybody wants to hear that.
Right.
But it's so cliche, and they already know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm firm in my decision, but I don't say I told you so, but I let her know that I'm not going to steer you in the wrong direction. Like when I'm giving you advice, or I'm trying to educate you about finances, or making these adult decisions, it's because I've been there. It's because I've experienced that, and I just want you to not make some of the mistakes that I made.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. So is there anything that you guys agree to disagree on? You feel a way about it, you feel a way about it, and that's just it.
I can't think of anything right
I
now.
know you're going to think that, but I don't think so.
I can't think of anything.
I'm sure you do.
Well, that's good. That means, you hold her opinion in high regard. I don't know. That's how
I
look
can't
at it.
think of anything that we're just like stuck on. This is what I think, and this is what you think, and let's just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Is your vision of when you had her, because I think every mother kind of has a vision of their child and what they see for that child. Is your vision playing out how you thought it would when she was born?
It is.
That is so great.
It really is. I think from when she was in my womb, I think it is. It is. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be chosen.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful with the child that God blessed me with.
Yeah.
But I can say that it has definitely been a journey. The best one in my life, but I would say that it played out the way that I thought that it would.
Yeah.
Does that mean I'm a perfect daughter?
Never.
I'm just kidding.
You're so funny. You are funny.
No, it just means I'm a perfect mother.
So what is the best lesson that you think your mom gave you growing up? Like this was crucial and you still use it to this day.
Best lesson.
Yeah. Or maybe not even a lesson, but words of wisdom even. My mom always says XYZ, and you kind of still go by that.
There's a lot. I'm trying to think about
like maybe the most important.
Let me think about that.
Yeah.
Give me a couple of seconds, and then I'm going to try to figure out which
Okay.
the best lesson.
Yeah. Or even just something that she's taught you, even, whether it's, I don't know, save your money or,
That I was going to say the money thing, to always have a savings and don't spend before you have, and pay attention to people's actions and how they were raised and how they're going to be after the next stage. Like in high school, like she told me, like, pay attention how this person is going to be after their parents stop buying them clothes and shoes, or what are they going to do after their parents stop supporting them, or, you know, like, pay attention to the next, like, things like that.
Yeah, I like that one, because you really, you know, you have to know who you're dealing with. So I love that. So do you have any children?
No, I don't have any children.
Okay. What my next question is, what are some things that you will instill in your child that your mom instilled in you? And what are some things that you would do differently raising your child?
I would definitely instill in, like, love, like, and being open and being able to, like, you know, just having that open relationship but still a firm relationship, so like mother-daughter, but still being open, so that my child will feel comfortable coming to me through any situation and won't hide anything.
Gotcha.
And then something I would change, but then, like, it was like the curfew thing, but then now that I think, like, me working in the field that I work in and the kids that I work with, now I'm like, I don't know if I want my kids to be out, because I know I was strong-minded, but I don't know how my child would be, like, you know, as far as saying no to, because I can be around people that smoke and drink and not be tempted to do it.
Gotcha.
And yeah, my mom always told me, like, don't drink and drive and things like that, and I still, like, now that I drink a little bit more than I ever did, I guess that's something I don't do, and to watch my drinks and just to choose be around positive people that's gonna motivate me. Did I answer your question? I forgot what the question was. Did I answer it?
Well, what would you do the same? Which love, instill the love, and I think you're gonna do the curfew too.
No, I kind of think
I think your child's gonna have a curfew.
But one thing I wouldn't do, no, I won't curse around my children.
Okay.
That's something that I wouldn't do. I know that sounds like cliche, but I really wouldn't.
If that's what you know, I feel like I gotta be failing my kids if a parent is not supposed to be cursing around their children, because they use very colorful adjectives.
Yeah, I don't think that I would personally do that.
That's good though.
You probably should start practicing now, though.
I don't.
I'm just
saying.
Lot. You probably should learn to control that impulse now.
Funny. Africa, I have a question for you.
Okay.
So, I always say to anybody that asks me that I haven't slept in 25 years. And I say that because I had my daughter 25 years ago. And I feel like as a mother, you just don't sleep soundly because you never know if that phone is going to ring. I don't know. Do you sleep soundly? Have you slept in 25 years?
No.
Or how old are you?
26.
You're 26. Have you slept in 26 years?
No. The only time I sleep is when she sleeps. I think as a parent, there's so much going on. And even when she was away at college, even when she came home, I still want to always know that she's safe. So you always worry, I think, as a parent, even when they're adults. I mean, she could be saying, I'm going out to hang out with friends, and I'm still always concerned. And you just want to know that your children are well, even as they're adults. So no, I don't think that I ever will. Yeah. To be honest with you. I don't, I'm at peace and I'm grateful because I know that that she's on a positive path. But no, the stress is always there. The worry is always there. Yeah. And I don't think that it's going to go away. Yeah. I think it's just what we do.
It's just what we do.
Yeah. I have something to fill in. I do not want to force my children to go to college.
Okay.
Now that I actually experienced it and went to school. I don't necessarily think that you have to go to college to be educated and to be successful. So that's something that I definitely wouldn't force upon my child. My mom did force me to. I just know that that was something I had to do. And I feel like my senior year, even in high school, I was like very immature. And I just knew that that was something I had to do, but I didn't know if that was what I really wanted to do. But my mom wanted me to do it, so I knew that I had to do it. But once I got there, I knew that I had to finish. No matter what struggles came along the way, I knew that I had to finish, because I would have felt like I failed if I didn't complete it. But I'm happy that I have my degree, and I went because I experienced and learned a lot, but I would not force my child to go to college. But you will have to figure out what you want to do.
So you would force them to get a path?
Yeah, know what you're going to do, but not necessarily go to college.
Gotcha.
Like if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, something like that, of course you're going to need to go. And I'll push them depending on the child personality and, you know, like just seeing their potential, like that would determine whether, but I wouldn't force my child to go to school. And that was something that I just had to do. I feel like I did. There was like no choice.
No choice.
Yeah. Like I didn't even fill out my college applications like my mom did. Like
I'm sorry, but I can't even help you in this area, because I did the same thing to my daughter. Like when she was 5, she knew that this is the path and this is what you're going to do.
And it was just something I knew I had to do.
Education, it's important.
So we just did the best we knew how. But I will say this, in your defense, I had a son 13 and a half years after my daughter was born. So I do know that all kids are not the same. And I would not force my son to go to college. I wouldn't even force him to go away, because I forced her to go away. And she went as far as she could. She went to Florida. But anyway, I digress. I would allow him, if he wanted to go to UNLV and stay at home.
Okay.
So, just putting that out there. If that's the path he wants to go. But I would make sure that he at least learned a trade, you know, whether it be air conditioning, fixing on cars, whatever. You have to know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So, do you think she did a good job raising him?
No, yeah, I do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Good. And sounds like you are happy with the product that you have invested all your everything in.
I'm blessed. I am blessed.
Let me ask you, does her name mean something?
Would you like to answer that?
Well, when I graduated from college, at my luncheon, my granny was like, "S.H.E, you know what your name means? God placed it on my heart." She told me when I was 23 or 24 at the time. She was like, "She who overcomes all obstacles." My granny was like, "You've been through so much in life. So many people doubted you, and you always pushed forward." And
I love that. And your name is Africa, so I mean that's amazing in itself. So
that continent.
Yes. And it's something that you guys have kicked off this first video episode, Black History Month. We are celebrating Africa, S.H.E. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you guys any advice that you would give a mother, daughter, you know, maybe a mom that's just starting out, that just had a daughter? Like, what advice would you give her for her daughter?
I think that the open line of communication. I think a lot of people, I don't recommend being the parent. When you ask your kid or tell your child to do something, they should be able to understand why. And I don't recommend when people just tell their child to do it because I said so. I think a part of the journey of learning is for the child to be able to critically think and to understand, not just to be, don't create a slave. Don't create a slave, because then the child will just go through life doing what they're told and they won't actually think.
I love that.
So that's what I think.
And you as a daughter, what advice would you give to a young daughter right now, growing up, you know, as far as listening to her mom?
Your mother always knows what's best for you. It may seem like, I don't know, just listen to your mother, and because she knows, and always learn from others' mistakes. Like, if your mom is telling you something and you want to do the opposite, take time. Don't just rebel automatically. Take time to see from her point of view, because maybe she experienced it and want to prevent you from making the same mistakes. Because that's something that I always do, and I always respected my mom's opinion for that reason. Because I don't want to naturally just have a hard life. And I know she's been through a lot in life, and I always respect her opinion and her advice to prevent myself from doing certain things. So yes, your mom knows what's best.
Well, let me tell you, it has been such a pleasure having you guys. You guys seem like you have a very healthy, loving relationship, and I love it. I've learned a few things from you guys, which is awesome. And that's why I love doing this podcast, because I learn something new every single time I interview people. It restores my faith in humanity, because it's really hard right now in this climate that we live in, with all the political, you know, aspects of the United States of America right now. I love my country, but it is hard. Humanity still lives, you guys.
It does.
We are in this thing together.
So
thank you guys for blessing me with your presence, and blessing me with, and everybody, with your story. Maybe somebody can connect with you in some sort of way. If anybody did want to connect with you, do you guys do like social media? Do you want to get out? You don't have to. You guys can contact me too.
Thank you for having us. I really appreciate you wanting to interview us. And yes, you can follow me on Instagram as Shartom, SHARTHOM, or Shartom Publishing.
Publishing?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. What have you published?
I published a children's book about hair, so little girls can embrace their hair. It's Autumn Sunshine, Embrace Your Kinks and Curls. And I plan on publishing another later on this year after I handle a couple.
Another children's book?
Yes.
Amazing. Yes. I love. Look what you raised. Look at this. And you, Mom, if anybody wanted to reach out to you.
I don't even know my Instagram. I go on there. What is it, like Queen 702?
_ Africa P.
Oh. Queen.
There you have
it. That's it.
All
and
right.
then, of course, I'm on FaceTime.
Facebook.
On Facebook. Okay. Perfect. All right. If you guys needed to get in touch with him, if you didn't get that, definitely reach out to me. I'll connect you guys. And if you guys want to be on the show, call me. Reach out to me. On Instagram, that's where I'm most active. So that's at pieces.of.she. And then I also have Twitter, which, okay, it's Pieces of She 1, at Pieces of She 1. I will go on there every so often. The best way to reach out to me is on Instagram. And then now, of course, you guys can catch me on Digital Vegas. So thank you guys. I'm excited. I hope you guys connected with them in some sort of way. Love you, She family.